green lights up. Welcome back, everybody. Divisional Championship round time. We've got 8 teams left. Somerville, Washington, Denver, New Orleans, Milwaukee, Oahu, Oklahoma City, and Huron.
Only winners left, huh?
Somerville versus Washington, 2 division rivals here. 12 games apiece, and a pretty even split, 7-5 in Washington's favor. Both teams very strong. Both playoff perennial contenders here the last 2 seasons. Denver and New Orleans. Denver, another strong offensive year. Not the powerhouse we've seen, but still a very dangerous team. And this is a rematch of last year's playoffs. They're going to go to New Orleans. I think it's a switch. I think New Orleans was on the road for that wild card series last year. But New Orleans has a really good team this year. And both of these teams won their first round matchup. So
stole George Reed from Denver. So.
And if you look, they split 6-6 over the season, so it should be an even matchup. Milwaukee at Oahu, and this is the Paddlers. Paddlers, I've been here a couple times over the last few seasons now, but not a lot of playoff success. I did make some big trade deadlines, but I also lost my starting catcher right before the playoffs started for the playoffs, and he's really good, so I'm hoping my pitching staff can hang on. I actually noticed I only have 1 catcher on my entire playoff roster, so if he gets injured, I'm completely fucked. And then we've got Milwaukee, won their first round series, and they beat me 4-0 this year in the head-to-head matchup. So both these teams have top offenses and top pitching staffs in the Fire Conference. And then our last matchup is Oklahoma City at Huron, division rivals, again here in this matchup. And Huron's been the best differential in the Fire Conference all year. They've been a very dominant team. Probably a little better than the Paddlers, even though not the better record because they're in the better division. And the Outlaws over here, also a really strong team. Both those teams won their wild card matchups. So should be a pretty good series. Huron did take the season series 8-4. And actually, we didn't give Huron credit. I just want to do that real quick because we've been talking about Vancouver and Philly, who are no longer here. But Huron hasn't been in this situation in 4 years. Three missed postseasons in a row. I think this is Josh's first entry into the postseason, so congratulations to him. I feel like not enough credit given in the wildcard round. But that being said, ready for some games, Chris?
Yeah, let's do it.
I should probably log into the manager account here and actually pull exports. That'd be a smart move. And I should probably take it off the logo, but at least people get that verbal breakdown. I guess it was the radio experience this time. Someday we'll get good at streaming. Practice makes perfect.
We have more than 19 subscribers.
All right, here we go. Anguiano versus Shane, Hagen versus Para, Sonneville versus Butch Winter, Loweth versus Wismar. Look at these fucking game times. My bad. Guess we'll go quick. I could have sworn I set all this up last night. Game 1 will be on 60.
It's some solo action time with this game.
Yeah, 1-0. Chad Keys gives the Mudcats the lead. Start things off between these two teams. Denver, can they even it back up in the second on a wild pitch? Horsefall doubles, driving in Reyes. 2-1 Dynamite, now on top in the third. And New Orleans strikes back. Chad Keys with his second run-scoring hit of the game. A 2-run homer in the third gives the Mudcats the lead, 3-2. All 3 RBIs driven in by Keys. Denver ties it back up in the fourth, so back and forth we go. Miguel Pino singles, driving in Mitchell. About to get the Huron game to start here. Both starting pitchers still in the game for Denver and New Orleans. OKC starts off quickly with a Victor Esquivel 2-run homer. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Herons in the bottom half, and Malik Roach is going to ground into a double play, but that's going to score 1 run. They'll get 1 back, 2-1. New Orleans takes the lead. Greg Gross is going to triple. I didn't see how he scored there. Maybe he tripled and scored on the error. Chad Keys singles, drives in another run. 4th RBI of the game for Keys on 3 hits. And a wild pitch scores Keys. So 6-3, New Orleans extends that lead as we go to the top of the 8th. Bases loaded for Denver in the top of the 8th, 1 out though. And they aren't able to capitalize. So 3 outs remaining for the Dynamite in game 1. 6-3, New Orleans takes the lead into the 9th. Joe Smith singles. 3-1 Outlaws.
Is that final?
It
Jeez,
is.
I missed it already.
Yeah, Mudcats take game 1, 6-3. It's like the bullpen gets the win. Dunbar. Walker on the loss.
Oahu and Milwaukee had started.
Oahu takes a quick 2-0 lead in the first. Yoshitaro Ano doubles in Bechdel and Ontiveros. Two runs in for, make that a big rally here for Oklahoma City in the 7th inning. Single, and a single. Drives in 4 runs. And Milwaukee's responded in Oahu. Bill Worthington grounds into a fielder's choice. Get the first run, and then a Jose Hernandez doubles gives them the lead before a wild pitch adds another 4-2. Meanwhile, bottom half, Rob Squires, sac fly, gets one back right away for the Paddlers. 4-3 in the bottom of the third now.
And fourth there in Oahu.
It's hard to call this shit on 60, bro.
Yeah, it's fast.
Bases loaded. And Huron gets two back here going into the ninth. On a Sandoval double, but they're going to be down by 4 here with 3 outs remaining. That's going to do it. So Oklahoma City comes into Huron and takes game 1 on the road, 7-3. Oahu ties it in the 6th inning. Tomas Chavez drives an Eberts. Alex Alonso doubles for Milwaukee, extending the lead back up to 2 for the Lobsters in the 7th. Hernandez and Harris both score, so 6-4 now as we go to the 8th.
Somerville and Washington about to start.
Three outs remaining for the Paddlers in game 1. Top of the 9th we go. Washington a quick 2-0 lead. Fast triples, and then Cox hits a sac fly. And it's a final in Oahu. Monsters take game 1, 6-4. Wallace gets the win. Urquidez on the loss. Three 0 Washington on a Nate Simonson solo home run in the 3rd. Make that 4. Fred Cox with a double. Driving in Creighton. Pete Spooner double makes it 5-0 Washington. Butch Winter pitching a very nice game. 6 innings, shutout baseball so far. 10 strikeouts now for Winter. Washington taps on another in the 7th. Somerville's on the board. Travis Plath with a double, driving and Santoyo. And it's the final. Washington wins game 1, 6-1.
Imagine doing all 4 games like this on Factor 60. Denver 5-0.
Big lead for Denver now, 5-0 in the third. Oahu with a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the third in that game. Malik Roach walking with the bases loaded to give Huron the 1-0 lead in the second. They've got the bases loaded with 2 down there. Another walk's going to drive in another run. So some wild pitching for the Cowboys.
Outlaws?
I say Cowboys.
You sure did.
Outlaws. Excuse me. Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know.
Bar Harbor's not even in this.
It's true. Two nothing Washington early. Wild pitch in a Ryan Odom double in the second. And New Orleans is on the scoreboard now with the Jamie Fonts solo home run. Chad Keys with a solo home run. He stays hot here. 5-2. They've cut into that big Denver lead a little bit. Justin Givens doubles. So second and third for the Herons here. Bottom of the third, threatening. And they get another run on a ground out. Somerville's on the board and grounding into a double play. They get one back, and it's now 2-1. Alex Alonso, solo home run, gets one on the board for the Mobsters. And they tie it up on an Armendariz home run. And they take the lead on a Bo Moses solo home run. I don't know if there was back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back in that situation. I didn't see if there were outs in between, but 3 homers in the sixth. It's going to chase Alex Lopez out of the game.
We're going to for the sake of broadcasting.
Yeah, we'll look it up after.
Very, very un-Milwaukee-like, 2 homers. All 3 of them.
5-0. Yeah, that's true. I think that's more home runs than they hit their entire playoff run last year. I think they only had 1 home run, right, last year to win the championship. First and third, nobody out for the Paddlers. And they tie it up on a Iono ground out. They intentionally walk the cleanup hitter, and then Petrino walks, so the bases are loaded here. Kenny Morgan singles driving in 2. Paddlers take the lead 5-3. OKC's on the board on the Victor Esquivel single. 5-1 in that game. Oahu adds another on a John Everett single, and the bases are loaded again with 1 out. And Squire strikes out. Wild pitch is going to score another, though. So 7-3 Paddlers as we go to the top of the 7th. Bases loaded, nobody out for Denver. 2 on, nobody out for Washington. Quick double play in that game and a line out though. And it's the jam for the money line. And a big hit by Sean Hall driving in 2. Denver extends the lead 7-2. Make it 8-2 on the ground out. Wild pitch is going to score another, so Denver pulling away here late in this game, 9-2. Greg Gross solo home run, 9-3 now. Mudcats are going to need a lot more offense to get back in this one. First and third, nobody out for the Mobsters in the top of the ninth. Their last 3 outs. Maynard's coming in the game for the Paddlers. And Hernandez hits a sac fly. 2 down though. Tying run at the plate, and Alonso. He's going to single, so bases loaded now for Maine. And that's going to do it. Paddlers get game 2 and tie the series up 1-1. Josh Gunter triple in Washington drives in 2, and that extends the Washington lead. 3 outs remaining now for the money line, down 4, so 2 big insurance runs. Denver adds 1, making it 10-3. And that's going to do it. Washington takes game 2 and the 2-0 series lead, winning both home games in Washington.
Final there as well. Huron tying the series up 1-1. It looks like Denver's about to do the same unless some miracle happens here in New Orleans. Gotta run. Not enough though. Not enough.
Eight innings pitched, a 2-hit baseball for Boyd Perry. Looking over at the top performers list there. Chris Anderson on the mound for the Mudcats in Game 3 against Cole Bowden. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's out there with Doug Morris. Another 20-win season for Doug Morris. The Paddlers are going to be throwing trade deadline acquired Josh Miller.
Yeah, we know you were active during the trade deadline.
One nothing. Ray-Ban singles driving in Harris.
Let's go Milwaukee.
Wild pitch scores another, so 2-0 bottom of the first.
If that catcher was there for Oahu, probably still be a 1-0 game.
2-run double by Matt Domagala for the Denver Dynamite. Give them the lead there in Game 3 at home. Yes, I'm gonna blame my collapse on Pete Barrett if it happens. Oahu gets one back on a wild pitch, 2-1.
Come on, Milwaukee, do something about your catcher. Give him a good scolding.
Two-run home run for Mike Brightwell. Ties it up for the Mudcats. Mike George going against Adrian Lehman in the Huron OKC game. That game's in the fourth, scoreless, almost hitless. At 25-year-old lefty Adam Hess on the mound for Washington.
Grounds out, gets Washington on the board. And Alex Alonso extends the lead for Milwaukee over Oahu, 3-1.
Sam Ruthven on the mound for Somerville, pitching into the fourth, pitching well. Washington gets another. Josh Ives hits a solo home run, making it 2-0. Four to 1 Milwaukee. Robbie Croy singles driving in Bo Moses. Solo home run, Justin Marshall. 1-0. OKC on top in the 6th.
Who is that guy, Justin Marshall? Who is that guy?
Maybe the greatest, second greatest hitter in postseason history. I think I'm going to still give that to Victor Rivera.
Yeah, I am too.
And there might be some other good ones we're not picking up too, but Marshall's definitely up there. John Brookshire singles. He gets Somerville on the board in the 5th. Sacrifice fly for John Everts drives in Kenny Morgan. 4-2 now in the top of the 7th. Three-run home run for Aaron Homan in the 9th inning. Breaks the tie between New Orleans and Denver, and the Mudcats now have a nice cushion going to the bottom half of the inning. Huge home run for Aaron Homan.
Huge. Huge.
Leadoff double for Sean Hall puts a runner on. Now 1st and 3rd, and the tying run's going to come to the plate in Aaron Horsfall. But he grounds into a double play. That's going to do it. Mudcats take Game 3 on the heroics by Aaron Homan.
I can't believe the Huron OKC game is going to finish before your game.
Pitching duel. It does. OKC holds on to that 1-0 lead on the Justin Marshall solo home run. 8 innings pitched by Levin. Shutout. 8 shutout innings and 8 strikeouts there. Three outs remaining for the Paddlers here in Game 3, down 4-2. Mike Petrino leads things off with a single. Morgan strikes out swinging. Everett strikes out swinging. Chavez singles. It's going to bring a pinch hitter Tate, but he is going to get retired, and that's going to do it. Monsters win Game 3, 4-2. They take a 2-1 series lead. Washington, meanwhile, clinging to that 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th. 6 outs remaining. Make that 5 for Somerville. Make that 4 for Somerville. Aces loaded for the Generals. And they get the insurance they need. 2 runs on the Josh Gunter single. He's had a nice series so far. Intentional walk, but then a ground out will end the inning. So 4-1, Generals take the lead in Game 3 going into the bottom of the ninth. Trying to take that commanding 3-0 series lead. That's going to be a final. 4-1 Washington. On to Game 4 we will go. Brian Boyd on the mound for Washington. Looks like starting things off for Denver, it's going to be Kevin Kling. We've got Ning versus Martin in the Oahu Milwaukee game, and then we've got Casey White versus Caleb Haverstick in the Huron OKC game. Wow, Timmons is on the mound for Somerville. Kevin Timmons, 25 years old. Looks like he's a rookie this year. And Mitsuchika Miura on the mound for the Mudcats. He's been there for several seasons. Nothing. Israel Esparza starts things off for the Paddlers in Game 4. Esparza, just a rookie, had a really good season this year. Jim Harris gets one back for the Mobsters.
I was going to ask you how he turned out for you this season.
Yeah, I didn't call him up till after call-up day. No, that's not true. I called him up early. Creighton grounds out. It's going to drive in the first run of the game for Washington, 1-0 in the third. Ryan Roach solo home run ties it up 1-1. And Andy Morse hits a solo home run, putting New Orleans on the board 1-0 in that game in the third inning. Adam Santoyo solo home run puts Somerville on top for the first time, 2-1. Two on, one out for Milwaukee, but a double play gets the Paddlers out of the inning. Huron strikes first. Carl Gore hits a double, driving in Brian Tunning. And Chris Collar double Drives in Gore, so 2-0 now in the third. Alex Alonso single ties it up for Milwaukee. 2-2. We go to the fourth in that game. And 2-2 now in the Washington Somerville game as Sean Kelly drives in a run for the Generals. Scott Skinner, solo home run for the Herons, making that 3-0. And the starter for the Mudcats leaves the game with an injury. Day to day, 2 days, mild calf strain. It's going to bring out the bullpen though. Looks like Chris Puentes on the mound. And the Denver Dynamite take advantage right away. Jim Mitchell, 3-run home run, gives them the 3-1 lead. Meanwhile, the Washington Generals get a single by Josh Gunter, and that is now 3-2. They take the lead in the sixth. And 3 more. John Hall, 3-run homer for Denver. So the starter gets injured. And then 2 3-run home runs in the fifth make that a 6-1 game. Kabul Kartini singles for Oklahoma City, putting them on the board 3-1. They trail in the fifth. They get another back on a John Saunders single. Still threatening with 2 down. Chad Keys doubles. Puts a run on the board for New Orleans. They now trail 6-2. And they get one more on a Jeremy Blackwell single, driving Keys in. Get the tying run at the plate with 2 down. Morse flies out. That game stays 6-3. Meanwhile, Somerville ties the game on a Joe Warfield solo home run in the seventh. Reyes extends the lead for Denver 7-3 in the seventh, and Bill Worthington gives Milwaukee the lead, and extended by Jose Hernandez. A couple singles to drive in a couple runs, and they're still threatening second and third, and they get more. Jim Harris singles, so Milwaukee takes a 6-2 lead in the seventh. They get another single. Alex Alonso driving in Harris. That makes it 7-2.
I've been talking this whole time on mute.
3-3 in the ninth. Washington's down to their last out of the inning. Trying to get the sweep of Somerville, who's trying to stay alive and give the home fans one more game, at least. Second and third for the Generals, with two down. And they get the big hit. Corey Creighton doubles, driving in Odom and Kelly. Meanwhile, Neil Layton drives in another for the Mobsters. That's now 8-2, and Givens gets an insurance run in the top half of the ninth, making it 4-2 in Oklahoma City. Washington adds another one in the ninth, 6-3 now. And the Herons do too, so both these teams taking control here late. Denver, meanwhile, it's a final in Denver. They even the series up 2-2. Final in Milwaukee, they take the 3-1 series lead going into Game 5. Washington gets the sweep. 6-3. They are on to the conference championship. They're going to face the winner of New Orleans and Denver. And be well rested doing so. Huron wins Game 4, and they tie that series up 2-2.
That's some fun matchups here. And after that Game 4, I have to run.
Sounds good, man. Enjoy yourself.
Catch you later, folks. Good luck to your rest of your playoff experience.
All right, taking a quick 5-minute break. If you're on and listening and you want changes, DM me. If not, we keep going. fives. Withdraw game times. Back to 60. 1-0 lead for the Mudcats. Anguiano going against Shane, two powerhouse pitchers. One more towards the back end of his career, one kind of right in the peak, I'd say. Game winner Miguel Pera going against Jack Hagan at 3. And then Dave Wismar against Dave Wallace. Chad Keys sold a home run, extends the lead 2-0 in the 4th inning. One nothing OKC, but quickly tied back up by Huron in the 2nd. Esquivel ground out, driving in Smith, and then a Brett Lemon homer. Makes it 1-1. OKC strikes back. John Sanders singles, and then a Kyle Bailey single makes it 3-1. They're still threatening over there. Bases loaded, 1 out. And they drive in a couple more. An error and then a fielder's choice makes it 5-1. Big 5 spot in the 2nd. Or, excuse me, a 4 spot in the 2nd. Ninth inning now. Denver down to their last few outs. They do get one. Mike High home run, but they can't get the other. And they drop game 5. Now trail in this series 3-2, and we're headed back to New Orleans. Brett Lemon strikes again, 2-run homer. Gets 2 back for the Herons. He's got all 3 RBIs on 2 home runs this game. This guy looks nice. A very nice rookie. A very nice. 2 more runs by the Outlaws. Soriano and Cartini score. It's a 7-3 game now. Oahu and Milwaukee underway. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Outlaws, and they get another one on a Kevin Shepard. I don't know, Kevin Shepard just got his 4th hit of the game, but an Antonio Soriano ground out drives in Esquivel. 8-3. Ground out sac fly single, and OKC pouring it on now late in that game. Oahu strikes first in the other game on a wild pitch. Alex Alonso leaves the game with an injury for Milwaukee. And Mike Dupree ejected in the OKC game, up 10-3. Not very smart. Not very smart baseball. That's the final. OKC smashes their way to a 10-3 victory in game number 5. They're up 3-2 in that series. They're going to have to get one on the road in Huron to wrap this thing up. Oahu had an insurance run on a sacrifice fly, driving the Squires, and then an Aono single makes it 3-0. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Paddlers get the win, 3-0. They stay alive in the series. They now trail 3-2, and we'll head back to Oahu for Game 6 and 7. Looks like the Alonso injury is moderate, 1 week. Just fixing the game times real quick. Thought I had done them all. right, Antonio Reyes leads the game off with a home run for Denver. Bases loaded, 2 outs in that game. Milwaukee leads things off with a home run by Jim Harris. Three-run homer by Yoshiteru Aono. That gives the Paddlers a 3-1 lead in the bottom half of the first. International signing Aono. Leo Valdez singles, drives in 2 for the Herons as that game's underway, and they have an early first inning lead. A lot of teams striking early. Dupre doubles, Escoval singles, and that makes that game 2-2 as Oklahoma City gets on the board. Brett Lemon solo home run. 4th home run of the postseason for Lemon. It's been really good. Wild pitch scores a run for OKC, so they get it back, and then they tie back up 3-3. George Reed, 10 strikeouts through 5 innings. He does trail 1-0. Enrique Ramos triple, and then an Andy Moore single ties the game up for the Mudcats 1-1. And meanwhile, the Paddlers get a couple runs. Steve Magana doubles, driving in Kenny Morgan. John Beckdahl triples, driving in Eberts and Magana. Brian Lloyd, 3-run home run, and the Mudcats take the 4-1 lead. Meanwhile, Aono doubles, driving in Beckdahl. Ontiveros doubles, driving in Aono, so the Paddler offense coming out to play here in Game 6. John Beckdahl has a double, a triple, and a single. Chris Kohler's solo home run gives the Herons the 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leo Valdez pops out to end that inning. So 1-run game as we go to the 6th inning. Big 3-run homer for John Sanders. And OKC now takes the lead 6-4. John Sanders 3 for 3. Looks like he's in his rookie campaign here as a 25-year-old right fielder. He's having a great series. Denver, some kind of record's been set over there. If I remember to look, I will look. Sometimes forget. John Beckdahl, 4th hit of the game. Not a home run, so didn't get that cycle, but having a great game for the Paddlers. George Reed, 7 strikeouts, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts. Now in the lead with that game. Let's see if he's still out there for the 8th with that 12 strikeout count. Probably up there in the pitch count. He's pulled, so Kuroda coming in the game for the Mudcats. 2 on, nobody out for the Milwaukee. And you'll lead in singles, driving in 1, so it's 8-2 now. And another single drives in 2 more, 8-4. Milwaukee's cut this lead down to 4. Jeremy Blackwell solo home run makes it 5-1. So Denver's going to have 3 outs remaining to get 4 runs or their season is over. For the 2nd straight season at the hands of the Mudcats. That'll do it. George Reed gets the win. And the Mudcats win in 6. The 5-1 win in Game 6. They take the series 4-2. 5 outs remaining for the Herons in their season, down by 2 against Oklahoma City at home. Leo Valdez, solo home run for the Herons. So they do get 1 back here in the 8th. They trail by 1. Moses singles. That's now 8-5 in the 8th inning. And that'll be all they get. So 8-5 as we go to the bottom half of the 8th. Meanwhile, 3 outs remaining for the Herons here in the bottom of the 9th. Ground out to start things off. Scott Skinner's going to walk, so tying run is on first. Last chance for the Mobsters in the top half of the 9th. Last out for the Herons. Brian Tunning at the plate. Can't get it done, so Oklahoma City wins Game 6, and they take the series 4-2, and meanwhile the Paddlers win Game 6, and they have forced a Game 7, so we'll have a Milwaukee Oahu Game 7 before we decide our conference championship matchup. So we're going to have New Orleans traveling to Washington for the conference championship. That's for certain, and we'll see who OKC faces. If Oahu wins, then OKC will be traveling to Oahu. If Milwaukee wins, OKC, I believe, will be hosting the conference championship. Here we go. We've got Josh Miller on the mound for the Paddlers. Alex Alonso walks with 2 down. And a Ray Main double drives him in, so Milwaukee strikes first in Game 7, 1-0 in the top of the first. Make that 2-0. Armendariz strikes out, but he reaches on the wild pitch, and then Main scores, so something went wrong there for the Paddlers, and they trail 2-0. Ray Main scored from second on that, brutal. Two-out double for Aono. Esparza pops out, so 2-0 on to the second. Bases loaded, 2 out for Milwaukee, and they get a run in on a Bomoza single. 3-0, they extend the lead. Doug Morris on the mound for Milwaukee. Tomas Chavez hit the solo home run. Had a decent series filling in for the injured Pete Barrett. Steve Magana singles. It's going to bring up Bechtal. Grounds out. Can't get the run across. So 3-1 as we go to the fourth. Lobsters on the lead on the road. In the lead on the road. Ontiveros doubles to lead things off for the Paddlers in the fourth. And a Mike Petrina single drives in Ontiveros, so 3-2 now. Paddlers get one back. John Everts walks, makes it first and second for Chavez, the catcher. And he's going to be hit by the pitch. Bases are now loaded for Magana, who singles, drives in 2 runs for the Paddlers. They take the 4-3 series score lead. Beckdahl double play kills the rally, so Paddlers get 3 and take the lead. And they're up by 1 as we go to the 5th. Aono with a leadoff single for the Paddlers. Followed by an Esparza single. So first and second, nobody out for Ontiveros, who reaches on an error. Bases loaded, nobody out for Petrina. Strikes out looking. Big out for the Mobsters. Kenny Morgan grounds into a fielder's choice, so 2 down now. And the Mobsters get out of the jam. John Eberts grounds out. So this remains a 1-run game as we go to the 6th inning. Leadoff double for Armendariz. He moves to third on a stolen base. These Mobsters have no shame when it comes to stealing bases. Hit by pitch, Neil Wheaton. First and third now. 1 down. It looks like that's going to bring in a pitching change. Tony Morales started most of the year for the Paddlers, was moved into the bullpen for the playoffs. And a single by Chavez is going to tie this game 4-4. And Hernandez singles. And now it's 5-4 Mobsters. They're back on top in the 6th. And another big hit. Jim Harris doubles. And now it is 7-4 Mobsters in Game 7. Bottom of the 6th we go as Alonso grounds out to end the inning. Steve Magana, 1-out walk. That's going to bring a pitching change for the Mobsters. Danny Miller in the game. Bechtel grounds out, runner moves to second. Aono singles, that's going to drive in. It's not. He must have been thrown out at the plate. That's going to end the inning. So Milwaukee keeps the 7-4 lead. Leadoff single for Esparza. Kenny Morgan singles John Eberts at the plate as the tying run. And he singles, but it looks like another base runner has been thrown out in the base paths. Esparza scores, but the side is retired. So Oahu getting cut down on the base paths here in Game 7. It might cost them. Six outs remaining for the Paddlers. Down 7-5, bottom of the 8th. Chavez singles. And a double play by Magana. It's 2 quick outs on the board. John Beckdahl doubles. So Aono's going to get a shot here. It's the tying run. Going to walk, so Esparza at the plate with 2 on. Tying run at first. Broyles coming into the game for the Mobsters. Josh Broyles is their stud closer. And he gets Esparza swinging, so he comes in and does his job, and it's still a 7-5 game as we go into the 9th inning. Two quick outs, then an Alonso double for the Mobsters. And on second with 2 down. Maine strikes out swinging, so it's going to be a 2-run game as we go to the bottom of the 9th here in Game 7. Ontiveros flies out. Like Petrina grounds out. And that's going to do it. The Mobsters win Game 7 in Oahu, and they take the series 4-3. Defending champions. Proved too much to knock off for the number 1 seed Paddlers. We'll take a look at some series MVPs real quick, and then we'll pick this thing back up probably tomorrow once everybody exports. All right, let's see here. For the Generals, Josh Gunter, I had a feeling he had a lot of big hits. His second playoff MVP award in back-to-back years here. He's had a nice career as a 29-year-old so far. Chad Keys, mashing the ball for the Mudcats. And this is the 4th time we've mentioned his name in the postseason as being the best player in a series. Former MVP at 33 years old, adding to his resume. Milwaukee Mobsters, it was Marcos Armendariz, first playoff MVP, but he's also been a really nice piece for the Mobsters' run these last 2 years. And then we've got John Sanders, who also had a really nice series. His first piece of hardware as a 25-year-old in Oklahoma City. All right, that's going to do it. Good luck the rest of the way to the 4 teams remaining.